So good morning, everyone. So in the last class, we spoke about the string data structure. I hope you have done all the relevant exercises that I have given to you in the collab file. So today I'm going to talk about a list data structure. Yeah. Yes. So the list is basically, mutable data structure. List is a mutable data structure. What does it mean? Once we create, it can be updatable, it can be appended, it can be inserted, it can be removed. All the operations will be allowed. Such kind of operations called, mutable data structures, we can say. Whereas a string is immutable data structure. Clear? So list is able to hold heterogeneous data. Homogeneous means what? Similar data, whereas the heterogeneous means dissimilar data. Okay, right. So list is maintains insertion order. Hence, we can use index and slice operator to access them. And list is represented with square brackets. Right. So let's go ahead about list data structure. Yeah. List data structure declaration. So the list is L1. An empty list can be created. This is what? An empty list. So whether this list, whatever the square brackets we have, is that recognized by the interpreter of the Python as a list or not, in order to confirm that, you can able to, there is a type is the built-in function with which if you give L1, which will be give you whether it is a list or other data structure, because the symbolically each data structure is going to be differ from each other. So the square brackets will indicate, it's a list class of a data structure. Clear? So it is an empty list basically. And L2 is what? It's an object which is going to hold, right? So I said already the list is heterogeneous in nature. There the roll number will be an integer. The name is going to be a string, and the fee paid will be is a float. And obviously we can insert some other details, right? So as multiple data type values are holding by the particular data structure, then hence it will be called as heterogeneous in nature. So if you print L2, it will be show you in the form of a list only. If you observe very carefully that, yeah, whenever the certain data is going to be enclosed within the square brackets, then such data will be called as a list data structure. Because if you have set, dictionary, tuple, they are the different. Therefore, by seeing the square brackets, you have to understand that whether this is a data structure belonging to a list or other data structure. Clear? Yes. Okay. Now, here, if you have a string, str1, which is going to be a Alladi cloud triangle. I want to convert a string into list. Clear? Then we can make L3 is equal to there is a built-in function called as a list. Are you see? It's a built-in function. If we pass str1, then if we print str1 and you print L3, you see the difference, both of them, how they'll look like after conversion, before conversion. So here, this is the string actually, which I have declared. After you convert the given string into list, the complete each character is going to be converted as an indexing value. Alladi will be one particular, this completely a one string. But whereas if you wanted to do any kind of analysis on the string, certainly we supposed to convert into each character such a way that we can able to apply certain operations. Therefore, so here this list is going to be prepared. Each character will be holding at a one particular index. Are you clear? So this is how the things would happen. I hope you have learned how to declare the list. Let's go ahead with how to access the list elements. How to access the list elements. There will be a forward indexing. There will be forward indexing. There will be backward indexing. There will be slicing operator. So in the above string that there will be what is called L2. L2 is the copy. This is my string. See, once in this notebook, in the collab notebook, once somewhere if you have declared one object, it will be applicable to entire the book. You need not to copy here and there, because just for your understanding, I just copied and pasted here. Otherwise, it will be applicable for entire the notebook. Clear? Yes. So now what's my requirement? I wanted to justify that the list data structure maintains forward indexing or not, which means what? This 501 will be at a left hand side to right hand side will go, the reading process. It is index at 0, index at 1, index at 2. So this is called 0 to up to n minus 1 called as a forward indexing concept. The way it organizes. So now the L2 of at a 0th index, print L2 of at a first index is located, which is an anu, print L2 of second index is going to be 50,000 paid is a fee. You see, according to our perception, the system is able to maintain forward indexing concept. Clear? Yeah. Comes to backward, from the backside means right hand side to left hand side will maintain the indexing. So L2 of -1 is going to be a 50,000, -2 is going to be a anu, -3 is going to be a roll number. Clear? So this is located at a -1 index, this is located at a -2 index, and this is located at a -3 index. So which means list data structure also maintains a forward indexing as well as a backward indexing. But in certain situation, we wanted to be not deals with an individual elements, we wanted to deals with a collection of range of value from so and so boundary to so and so upper boundary. Therefore, we wanted to print that all the elements. This operator called as a slicing operator, which will be shown to you like I'm sorry, L2 of so 501, 501 like anu and 50,000. See the colon, if you don't specify anymore, still it will understand that this position will be called as a starting boundary or lower boundary. This position can be specified with the upper boundary till what extent you want it to read. This position is going to be specified the step value, which is a skipping value, right? Yeah. So it's working. So you can test it, print L2 of. So I want to read from the first position to, isn't it? Third position. Now two elements are going to be shown to you. If you look at here, I specified 1 to 3, right? Therefore, it started at a 1 and it will be end with a 3 minus 1, which is 2. So this is how the slicing index can be possible to specify lower boundary, upper boundary as per your wish. Even step value can also be possible, that I have shown you in strings concept also, right? Yes. So, and comes to operations on list. So here we can perform concatenation, repetition, we can perform append, we can perform insert, we can perform extend, we can perform remove, we can perform pop, we can perform del, we can perform length function, we can perform index function. All these operations can be possible on the um, on the list also, because I hope you have seen that in the strings concept. After this class, I'll ask you whether you have done or not string related all the operations. Just concatenation means what? Can we perform the joining of two particular lists? Let's suppose concatenation between two lists. L5 is equal to L5 is equal to Anu, Balu, yeah. These are the three people are there in L5. L6 is going to have other list. Anu, Ishwar, as. Clear? So now I wanted to perform the concatenation between these two, L5 plus L6. That will be give you as a single list over here. That's called, concatenation between them. This can be possible between two strings. This can be possible between two tuples, two lists. This is how it can be possible. So that you have to be understand that. Clear? So repetition. Repetition means what? A list can be repeated as many number of times you want. Like L5 into 3 times. This can be repeated 3 times, the same list. Clear? This operation can be applied on the strings also. Clear? So like similar way, we can able to perform, the length of the list L1. That gives you how many number of elements exist in a L1 over here. So L1 is not exist. I think so. It's an empty. You give the L5. 3. If you give L6, it will also having a 3 elements. Clear? Similarly, I wanted to rest of the operations you do. I'll have given the cola file to you. So list strings, all this, or else I'll just give you that particular thing. So hold on. So rest of the operations you have to do from this particular thing. I have already executed all the relevant operations. Yeah. So comes to Yeah. So let me talk about justification about whether the justification list as mutable means what? Let's suppose already there is a L5 is available, right? Print L5 of 2 means there is a name called as Sunitha, right? Yes. In L5 list 5, I wanted to L5 of 2, I wanted to assign rather than Sunitha, I wanted to assign, yeah, Saleja. Clear? If in case list is allowed to be append the value instead of Sunitha Sailaja, then hence we can say that the list is mutable. Yes or no? Print let's now L5. Yeah. Sunitha has overridden by the Sailaja. Hence list is mutable. In the same place, justification string as immutable. String once you declare, it does not allow you to be make changes on that because it is immutable. Let's suppose there is a name, isn't it? Clear? Now, I wanted to make some changes. Like, if you look at the indexing value, it is 0th index, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, space is 6, 7, 8, 9. Somewhere I wanted to, in the name, I think, in place of I, which means 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In place of the 5, I wanted to add, isn't it? A. Clear? Immediately, if you look at, then afterwards you print the name. You have to see here, there is an error is going to be thrown to you. Item assignment does not allowed as a string is immutable data structure. Error will be thrown to you. You see the output? Yeah. String object does not allow support of item assignment because as string is immutable, it does not allow you to be make any kind of changes once it is created. Once it is created, it is permanent. Yes or no? Great. Okay. So this is the justification. The string as a immutable and list as a mutable. Clear? So I think rest of the operations, whatever the operations I have shown to you here. Yeah. So I have written everything in this, whatever the list and how to declare the variable list and how to make the dynamic list and what are other things, whatever the operations I said, split function, indexing function and find function, slicing operator will work or not, list has a immutability, traversing elements to the list, isn't it? So possible operations applied on the list, there will be length function, count function, indexing function. What they are, you have to understand that, append function, insert function, extend function, remove function. What they are using, for what purpose they are using, you have to execute and you have to remember them. Because, everything, if I give you the example, you are not putting any effort. That's what I wanted to test you, whether string related operations you have done or not. Individually, I'll come to you and I'll ask you whether you have done or not. Right. So let me go with another data structure, which is, yeah. There is another data structure is a tuple data structure. Tuple data structure. See, tuple data structure, it's a read-only data is held by the tuple data structure. Which means what? So once you declare, it's not allowed to be like your Aadhaar card, your number, PAN card numbers, passport numbers, all these will be read-only data. In lifetime, once they created for a specific person, they never be get changed, they never be get updated, they never be deleted. Once it is created, it is permanent for a lifetime, isn't it? Such a data is going to be held by the tuple data. Why tuple is required? Sometimes the list can be make it as a tuple. List is mutable, right? Sometimes, if we give a list, let's suppose, during the election time, to whom we wanted to give the ticket from the party. Before one day, somebody used to tell that, the ticket is going to come to someone. Next day, the ticket will go to another person. See, sometimes, the list will be always, it will be changes. Let's suppose the students list, if you get a job or merit list, you have got selected in exam and you have to go for the interview now. Yes or no? In interview also, they used to be filter few people to declare the list, which is a final list who get a job. But in between, somebody who gives some money to the concerned interviewer, they would change the list. Yes or no? It happens. So sometimes even after finalization of the list, nobody should be able to do that, any kind of a manipulation. Then before going to release the thing, convert the list as a tuple, such a way that the person who have finalized the list, if he freeze means what? Cannot change it. Once if you make it as a freeze, you cannot change it. The person who have made it also cannot change, because the whole elements are available in the database. Nobody can do that. So if you make list as a tuple, you cannot make any changes. That's the final list. So such a way that there are many situations where we wanted to make the list as a tuple. Tuple will be read only, list will be mutable. Are you clear? Yes. So tuple is going to hold the, it's a read only data, and tuple is declared with open and close parenthesis. Tuple is also maintains heterogeneous data. It also maintains insertion order of the elements in a data structure. Yes, sir. Now, right. Let us see the scenarios how declare the tuple. Declaration of tuple data structure. So T1 is equal to, it is an empty tuple. Empty tuple. So check whether it is a tuple or list. Type of T1. So it is a tuple data structure. So based on this particular symbolic notations, whether it is a list or string or tuple or set or dictionary, the interpreter of the Python will be recognized. Clear? Okay. Right. It's a way to how to declare the empty list. Now let's take a T2, which is the static list, where we can able to assign, there is a employee ID will be 1122 and employee name is Venkat, and the employee designation is going to be a facilitator, and the employees from the Hyderabad. This is how we can able to maintain everything. It is also maintain the heterogeneous elements, right? We can able to maintain any kind of a data, Boolean data, none data, any kind of a data, complex data, everything can be declared within this particular tuple. It allows all the things. Are you clear? Because it is heterogeneous. Let's you print now T2, T2. Now you see how it will be look like. Yes, you have to see that whenever I displayed the list, it was, square brackets. Now it is open and close parentheses. So if you store certain elements in a database, if you retrieve them, it will be displayed as a tuple only. Because computer science people might have heard that the tuple is not a new word. It is there. An individual row in the database is called as a one tuple. Are you clear? So whenever if you wanted to read the data from the database, it will be displayed to you in the form of a tuple only. ఇవన్నీ ముందు ముందు చూస్తారు మీరు చాలా ప్లేసెస్ లో అవసరం వస్తుంటాయి. Clear? Great. So you know how to create a tuple statically as well as empty tuple. Now I wanted to know, as I said, there will be list, dynamic list, dynamic list. What does it mean? ఇప్పుడు మీరు అబ్జర్వ్ చేశారో లేదో, రేవంత్ రెడ్డి సీఎం అయిన తర్వాత ఐఏఎస్ ఆఫీసర్లని, ఐపీఎస్ ఆఫీసర్ని ఎవరిని ఎట్లా కన్వర్ట్ చేయాలి, ఎవరిని ఎక్కడ ట్రాన్స్ఫర్ చేయాలి, మొత్తం వాళ్ళే డిసైడ్ చేస్తారు. ఇంతకు ముందు ఉన్న లిస్ట్ వేరు, సీఎం అయిన తర్వాత చేంజ్ చేసే లిస్ట్ వేరు. సో లిస్ట్ ఈజ్ ఆల్వేస్ మ్యూటబుల్. కానీ అసలు రీజన్ లేకుండా చేంజ్ చేసేస్తారు ఒకసారి. ఒక రెడ్డి అయ్యాడు సీఎం అని అంటే వాళ్ళ క్యాస్ట్ వాళ్ళందరినీ ఇది చేసుకుంటారు. ఈవెన్ జగన్ ఈజ్ ఆల్సో డూ ద సేమ్ థింగ్. ఈవెన్ చంద్రబాబు నాయుడు వీల్ ఆల్సో డూ ద సేమ్ థింగ్. సార్ బికాస్ వాళ్ళకి ఫేవరబుల్ గా ఉండేలాగా చేసుకుంటారు. వాడు ఎంత సిన్సియరా, వాడు ఎంత పర్ఫెక్ట్ పర్సన్, నో బడీ వాంట్ ఆల్ దిస్. క్లియర్? సో ఇన్ డిజిటల్ వరల్డ్ దర్ ఈస్ అ రీజన్ దట్ a list will be decided by a panel members. What does it mean? There is a movie. Have you seen Bharatan and Nenu? In that movie, the Mahesh Babu was the CM, right? He already assigned certain roles to certain people. But the Prakash was the president of that party, right? He used to ask one favor that what that is position. One position was there, I think, some IPS position or something else. He wanted to one particular person instead of earlier already Mahesh Babu decided he wanted to change him because that person is not favorable to make any corruptions or maybe certain things. Are you clear? So a list must be prepared on behalf of the board of members, on behalf of the list of certain people. That list shouldn't be changed. If you want to make such a list, we have to make it as a tuple. Nobody can change. This list is going to be stored in database. Even the CM cannot change it. You just imagine many of these situations. ATM pin number. If the manager can see your pin number, he can manipulate at any time. He can misuse anytime. The passwords, pin numbers, the bank, RBI chairman, president also cannot see what password you have and what pin number you have. That kind of an authentication and encryption security is mandatory for nowadays because we are using digital world of transactions. So these are things are very useful things in many situations. Just it's a matter of understanding why each concept. Always you have to be think about it. Clear? Great. Okay. So let's there is a list. The list IAS officers. There is a IAS officers list, isn't it? Umesh. Who is Umesh? Yes. పెద్దవాళ్ళు వీళ్ళంతా తెలుసా నీకు ఉమేష్ చంద్ర గురించి? రాజశేఖర్ సీఎం కానప్పుడు ఇంట్లో వెళ్ళి కొట్టుకుంటూ బయట తీసుకొచ్చాడు. ఉమేష్ చంద్ర తెలుసా? ఎస్ఆర్ నగర్ లో స్టాచ్యూ ఉంటది, చాలా ఫేమస్, తెలుసా మీకు? ఎస్ఆర్ నగర్ ఉందా? ఎస్ఆర్ నగర్ స్టాచ్యూ పక్కన లెఫ్ట్ హ్యాండ్ సైడ్ ఒక పెద్ద స్టాచ్యూ ఉంటుంది, ఐఏఎస్ ఆయన ఐపీఎస్ ఆఫీసర్ స్టాచ్యూ, ఉమేష్ చంద్ర. రాజశేఖర రెడ్డి సీఎం అయిన తర్వాత అదే ఏరియాలో నీట్ కట్ చేపించేసాడు ఉమేష్ ని. అది హిస్టరీ అన్నమాట, రైట్? సో వీళ్ళంతా సాక్రిఫైస్ చేస్తారు లైఫ్ ని. గ్రేట్, ఓకే. ఎస్. సో there are some list of names like who are the IAS officer or IPS officers, you know. Yeah. So here my question is, as you create a list, it can be changed at any time. I want to convert it not to be changed further as a tuple. Now, final list. Final list is equal to, I want to make, there is a built-in function called as a tuple. Are you seeing? There is a built-in function called as a tuple, for which if we pass list of IAS officers as the parameter. Now it will be convert a list mutable to the immutable list. Now such a way that let me print list no both I wanted to show you, no? How they look like, so I just wanted to show you. Yeah, if you look at carefully, this is the list, this is the tuple, this is mutable, this is immutable. If you have a doubt, let me make justification now. Justification, tuple as immutable. ఫైనల్ లిస్ట్ ఏంటి? లిస్ట్ నుంచి మనం క్రియేట్ చేసాం. లిస్ట్ లో లిస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఐఏఎస్ ఆఫీసర్స్, the second element I wanted to make it as a Venkat. What is the second element? Chandra. I wanted to replace it. Is that happens or not? You see, print list of, you see now after the assignment it will be modified. Same, now I am going to modify final list. The second element, which is the second element, is what? No. Chandra. I wanted to replace with a Srini. Now print final list. Now it will give you error to you. Item assignment is not possible because once you made the list as a tuple, it does not allow you to be changed at any time. Right? That's a difference between tuple and as well as list data structure. So you have to understand that, you know, how to create the tuple and how to convert a list as a tuple. You have to understand. Then accessibility. Access tuple elements. So all the forward index, backward index, slicing operator, all are going to be work over here. Print final list of 0th element. What is that? Umesh. Clear? Now print final list of -1. What is that? Vamshi. That's the last element, right? Here, if you look at Vamshi is the last element which is located at a -1, -2, -3, -4, like that. So even backward, this is for the forward indexing. This is for the backward index. Clear? And obviously print slicing operator, final list between 2 to 4. You see? Umesh and Vamshi, like, you know, Chandra and Vamshi. Because that Just I wanted to show you whether slicing operator is useful for the tuple or not. Clear? Yeah, it is working. So operations. Tuple is immutable. It does not allow you pop, remove, insert, append. All these operations doesn't work out. Meta functions like length function, count function, index function, yes or no? And concatenation, repetition, such functions only it will be work onto the tuple. So data manipulation related functions never be applied onto the tuple because tuple is, it holds the read-only data. If the data is read-only, how can you perform delete operation or append operation, update operations, all this? That's a justification. And rest of the things, the way I have included here related to list, you try to be, yeah, tuple. Yeah. You see how to create a tuples, isn't it? And I'll just, I can delete one second. Clear all the outputs. So if you execute, what happens? You see here. Slice operator, how it will work. Using while loop, how can we create elements? Whether the list is immutable. Sorry, list is mutable. I'm making list conversion to the tuple and I'm trying to tell you tuple is immutable. That's a justification here. Mathematical operations, you know, you see, concatenation, repetition, that functions. Functions on tuples, length function, count function, index function, isn't it? Sorted function, isn't it? All the reversing, sorted, ascending order, descending order operations, min value, max value, pick, like packing and unpacking concept. You just observe what exactly this is, isn't it? So there are individual elements, can we make it as a packed object, as an individual object to store into tuple, and reverse will be unpacking concept. You just try to understand. So these are the operations you have to practice and you have to understand that. I'm not going to explain that also. Now I'll be going with, there is a data structure is called as a set data structure. One second, just, I'll be